The old river bluff raise. We have not seen much of this.
Not cool.
Still a bit of play left in this one. They're 30 big blinds deep. Just a decent amount heads up.
Phil Ivey, and that looked like pocket kings.
H3 raises to 350.
Pocket kings. You're as good as Phil Ivey. You get heads up for a 250k buy-in event, and you just dealt kings. It's a nice life.
Ike Haxton makes the call. Pot's around 700. He's got 10-9 offsuit. He could wind up in trouble here. And the flop. It is an 8-5-5 flop, so, well, nothing really there for Ike.
Not much there for Ike, but he has been pretty tricky post-flop in this heads-up battle.
Well, both players go check, so Ivy really hoping he catches. The turn is a king.
Well, yeah, Ivy caught that pretty hard, Paul.
Well, we didn't think he was really going to lose this hand, but that turn really made sure of it. Now, the question is, I mean, it's all good to have big hands, and you would know so much about this, Grant, is how do you extract from the other player? And look at this. Ike is reaching for chips. This is exactly what Phil wants. What's going through Phil's mind right now?
Yeah, well, I like the check back on the flop. Check back on the flop just opens the door for Ike. Phil hasn't shown the aggression or didn't continue with the aggression on the flop. And Ike thinks he's done with the hand and decides to take a stab. And obviously, it's a tough one because you want to build a pot, but also you don't want to lose your opponent.
Now, we're just confirming that that was in fact a call from Phil Ivey. And it was a call, so we go to the river. It is a 6, a black 6 of spades. So now Haxton needs to bluff at it, and look at this. He's reaching.
Yeah, well, the flush has come in, so I guess he's trying to credibly represent a flush or a 5 or even a king.
Well, little does he know what he's bluffing into.
Yeah, Phil Ivey has just about the stone cold nuts here.
Wow, and that looked like a bet of exactly pot. 2.1 million.
He actually did that on the turn too. He actually led for a pot-sized bet on the turn, and he's leading for a pot-sized bet on the river.
Ivy must be thinking Christmas is here. How do I get any more out of him?
Well, Haxton only has 3.1 million back, so, I mean, the natural thing for Phil to do is shove here. Isaac's showing so much strength. Obviously, he doesn't have the hand.
And he announces all in.
3 moves all in.
Isaac doesn't have the hand, and obviously he's going to fold, but...
yeah, what a very costly pot that was for Ike Haxton. And you got to hand it to Phil Ivey. He really disguised that hand very well.
He's raised with King 6 of diamonds. And Bryn defends. Second pair, backdoor flush draw.
Hard to make a pair.
Kenny has checked.
I think a lot of folks are going to check back here. I'm cool with that. Yeah, I guess we're going to bet.
McKeon continues to 340,000.
Although I kind of like how we're going for value early with a fairly vulnerable hand.
Kenny calls. Hello, diamond draw.
Pretty good card for us. Again, I like checking back so we can either get there or make a thin value bet on the river on a good card.
Action does go check, check. Board pairs on the river with the 3 of hearts. Bryn Kenny checks for a third time.
And I'd say this is one of those pretty good cards we can value bet. It's a thin value bet, but it looks like we're going to make a big one.
1 million, roughly 2/3 of the pot.
I like it. I think Bryn almost always has a 6 or a 4 here, and we beat pretty much all of those.
Oh, McKeon might get looked up here.
If he's thinking about this hard, I like our chances. Never mind.
Well, this is weird. A check raise from Bryn.
This is super scary. Bryn just polarized himself to bluffs and huge.
I was value betting.
Keyword was.
He's 3, 5, 3, 7, 5. Pretty good. I feel like you're not checking queen 6 or queen 4. Queen 3.
There are a lot of hands Bryn could have that are beating us, but I think we've played this hand like we don't have a queen, so we might look like an easy target for a fold. I'm actually feeling a call here.
McKeon calls.
Show it, Bryn.
McKeon is good. It was a bluff raise from Bryn with ace high.
Nice try, Lao Shay.
So he's raised to 16,000. Action's on Jerome Brion in the big blind. And he calls.
I like our hand. I think if we were dominated, there would have been a re-raise. This dude knows we like to go nuts pre-flop.
Well, the flop is king 5-4 with 2 diamonds. Brion checks.
C-bet's fine. Checking's fine.
Ensan checks behind. Jack on the turn. Hussein now has a gut shot straight draw.
So I guess that means we can call a reasonable bet, but much like when your grandma gives you a sweater for your birthday, we'd prefer a check.
Not going to get one. Brion leads for 24,000.
I'd say this is reasonable. Our gut shot is to the nut straight.
Ensan calls. This hand going to the river. The king of diamonds pairing the board also puts a potential flush out there.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think if there's another reasonable bet, we can call. We should call.
With just ace high?
The second king makes it less likely he's got one. There aren't a lot of value bets he can have, and he is going to be bluffing a ton of missed straights.
Into a pot of 92,000. Brion makes it 56,000. Ensan calls.
Come on.
Brion shows 10-9 for a busted straight draw. Ace high is good.
Oh my god, I was right. I totally wasn't expecting that.
Action on Schultz. King tray. He raises to 350,000.
Fine.
10-4 suited for Diego Ventura. And he'll defend.
Calling's fine, sure. It's heads up, come on.
Oh, Ventura pairs his 4 to become a big favorite in this hand. He's playing in flow. He's checked to the pre-flop aggressor. C-bet coming.
Aggressor's gonna aggress.
365,000.
Diego should certainly call. It's hard to flop a pair.
He does call. The better part of 1.5 million in the middle as we go to the turn. Which is a king, so we see the percentages do the big switcheroo. Schultz, now an 89% favorite.
Kevin shan't be slowing down now. He is gonna hope that whatever Diego called flop with, he's also gonna call the turn with.
More than half the pot, 775,000.
Now I don't think Diego should necessarily be calling. Bottom pair is not so hard to make at this point. Unfortunately, this probably looks like a good card to bluff at.
Diego does call. We now have a 3 million chip pot, and we're heading to the river. It's a 6 pairing the board. No help for Ventura. He's checked.
Probably, hopefully, surrendering.
Kevin Schultz deciding now whether to value bet his king.
I think he's already decided to bet. I think he's trying to figure out what strength hand Ventura has, so he can see how much to make it.
Well, that is 900,000, roughly a third of the pot.
Might look weak.
Do you think Ventura is considering making a hero call with just a 4?
He's counting out chips.
Rolling.
Oh, wow, he shoved.
Wow is right.
How much is that?
Diego has just check raised to over 3.1 million.
I like the idea, but the raise actually isn't for very much. Kevin might have to call if he thinks they're chopping, or just based on the fact that this could look like exactly what it is. A desperate bluff attempt. A call here would be totally justified.
Well, we can see that Kevin Schultz has the best hand. And if he calls here, this heads-up battle is over and he has won the 2015 PCA main event.
Kevin's thirsty. I'm parched and I'm not even in the hand. Diego's doing a great job of keeping composed. I have no idea how.
This decision is for one of the biggest and most prestigious titles in poker. This decision is worth $500,000. He calls! He's done it! Kevin Schultz takes it down!
Nice call. Well deserved.
The skydiving American Pro is the 2015 PCA champ.
And that is the sound of all of his friends spending $1.5 million.
Sir G. Oh. 26.
Mr. Garcia is raising.
Is that a 9-6 raise or is that actually a real raise, sir? I don't know.
Real-ish?
If I tell you, I have to kill you. Please don't kill me. That's not very polite.
It's a drastic move.
Seriously.
So Chris calls and flops a pair of 9s.
Chris Moneymaker continues running like a fine Swiss watch.
$55.
Sergio bets with just ace high.
Oh, yeah.
Chris calls. And an ace on the turn gives Sergio top pair.
Finally, someone else catches up. Hey, James, Chris is from Tennessee, but at the moment he's more like 9-a-C. Huh?
If we ignore him, he might go away.
Not a chance. To the river!
And that means it's cage time, potentially. Chris checks.
Chris has played this super passive. Sergio should think it's safe to value bet.
Oh,
He bets.
because you know where my cards are. I do.
I don't want to know where they just were, though.
He's playing value.
Which one was the one on bottom? I don't remember.
Do you think he really doesn't remember, or do you think he's quoting rounders?
Sorry, Joe, I don't remember.
Wait a minute.
Chris's clock is running. 10-second warning. He plays a time bank chip.
$475.
Yes!
Wow, I wasn't expecting this. I thought he was thinking about calling.
Awesome.
You know where my cards are? No. Don't worry, I'm not gonna look.
The old river bluff raise. We have not seen much of this.
And we're gonna see our first cage visit of the season.
And somebody's about to pocket $2,000. This is why we're watching, kids. Spots like these.
Definitely my favorite part of the PokerStars.com shark cage.
I call.
Chris is going to the cage.
Got him.
Wow!
What? That's the spot he tried to bluff?
Ace deuce for a pair of aces.
That's awesome.
I know he's got an ace or a king.
$2,000 for green fees. Very nice. Nice job.
Wow.
Yum, 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 yum.